Many of us experience clogged arteries, not because we are consuming animal protein, which is always the cause, not because we are consuming too much of fat, trans fats, which is also another cause of the clogged arteries. Now, as long as we are consuming all kinds of foods, fats, oils, carbohydrates, milk, and all the foods we consume on a daily basis, our body processes these foods and wastes are generated. And some of these wastes stay around the arteries. Some are sent out through the colon, but some stay around the arteries. And so by the time they continue to accumulate around those arteries, after a long time, the arteries get clogged. We start experiencing poor blood circulation. And when you experience poor blood circulation, everything is wrong with you. And that is why it is more common among the elderly. Poor blood circulation because of the clogged arteries. And if you look around your feet, as I often do occasionally, you may observe some patches. There are visible signs. Start to check it if you have not been doing it. I do. There could be visible signs that your arteries are clogged. I do notice it occasionally. You notice that sharpness around the feet, around your skin won't be there. Some kind of dullness. And there are some patches, like something like moles around some areas, just spread around the area. That may be an obvious sign when your arteries, because some people may be wondering, how do we know? Now, when your arteries are clogged, you are at risk of stroke, heart attack, arthritis, even respiratory issues. Some of the things many of us call stomach ulcers, because a good number of us are self-acclaimed doctors. We say it's malaria, because when the arteries are clogged, we begin to have all kinds of health problems. And some of us, we say it's malaria, we treat typhoid, we treat a stomach ulcer, we say stomach ulcer, we give it all manner of names. But in this very video, I want to share with us some of the foods that helps me in particular. And you can equally steal that idea to unclog those arteries when you suspect the arteries are clogged. Number one is tomatoes, fresh tomatoes, yes. Some of the very common foods that are very, very good, particularly in unclogging your arteries. And so when next you suspect those arteries are clogged, you start consuming lots of tomatoes. Not, processed tomatoes, not canned tomatoes, talking of fresh tomatoes, and no trans fats. You need to also stay off milk during the period, because milk is, even if you call it low fat, zero fat, whichever fat, it's one of the worst offenders. Contributors, I say. Start taking fresh tomatoes. It's one of the top. Number two is pomegranate. If you can have access to the pomegranate juice, it's a great food for helping to unclog arteries. A lot of people are trying to manage high blood pressure, trying to manage diabetes, a lot of other health concerns, but they never knew that the secret why they are not, those efforts and remedies are not responding is because the arteries are clogged. There is no blood circulation, no proper blood circulation. Blood is not getting there. You can't heal without blood circulating to the point. And so pomegranate juice is one of the best foods for unclogging arteries. If you can't get the juice, like I don't always have access to the fresh juice, but I do make use of the pomegranate powder, and it works quite well too. Another food that works excellently well for unclogging arteries is the green tea. It is one area that green tea works very well for me. It's not a regular food. It's a source of caffeine. It's not a nutrient-dense food. But when it comes to unclogging arteries, it's also one of the food that works well. You can also steal that idea. Then another thing that works well is when you take lots of water with your lemon juice. Yes, lemon juice is a source of vitamin C. And the vitamin C is one of the most powerful antioxidants you need when you think of unclogging arteries. Vitamin C is an antioxidant that is particularly good in it. But in this case, if you are taking your warm water with lemon juice, or maybe you abandon it for some reasons, you just have to go back if you observe or suspect that your arteries are clogged. Because they could be clogged also by some cholesterol. Yes, doesn't matter how small the cholesterol are, but as long as waste are coming out, it continues to increase. Another thing that unclogs arteries, and it's absolutely free, is exercising. Go for a very rigorous walk. It's going to unclog those arteries. If you have been sitting at home, or maybe you have not been sleeping, you have been, feeling under the weather all the time, it may be that your arteries are clogged. And this last one, you don't need to pay for it. Just go for a very good walk to help to unclog those arteries. Because if you don't unclog them, they may cause an accident. What I call an accident. Either stroke, heart, or they can cause a lot of health problems. And these are some of the things that I often observe. Whenever the immune system is quite low, and it's one sickness tomorrow, it's another one the next day, you may have to suspect or check, are my arteries clogged? It's not only the older adults. A lot of young people are engaged in all kinds of poor diet. Poor diet is also another major factor. And so when you are consuming too many processed foods, too much waste are also produced in the process. And you could be a young boy or a young lady. Don't say it doesn't concern me. Your arteries too may be clogged. Yes, because of your poor diet. And maybe you're not even exercising. And now, if during the period when you are trying to unclog your arteries, reduce your consumption of red palm oil. It's one of the worst offenders. Yes, you heard me. Reduce the milk or stop the milk. If you're a lover of milk like me, you have to stop it during that period when you want to unclog those arteries. If you are someone that, loves too much of processed foods, you need to stay off them to allow your body clear the backlog of waste around the arteries to enable your immune system to pick up again. And if you love this message, click the follow button for more.